All right, while the other video gets processed, let's take a look at homework number 16, question number 7 this time. All right, I opened it up. It says, let's see, a t-test, okay, a t-test for a mean uses a sample of 7 observations. So remember, t-test, they're going to probably ask for the degrees of freedom. If you have 7 observations, the degrees of freedom will be 7 minus 1, 6. They want you to find t-test statistic value that has a p-value of 0.05 when the alternative hypothesis is mu does not equal to 0 or mu is greater than 0. So remember, I like this one a lot. Because, you know, the first one that you emailed about was going from given test statistic to p-value. Notice they're asking you the backward. They're giving you the p-value, asking you to find the test statistic. So what we're going to do is we can still use, this is open from the previous problem that I just went over with you in the other video. I'm going to use the same exact calculator. But notice what we did was we typed in the t-test statistic in this box. And when I click on compute, the answer popped up on the other side, this side right here, right? So what I'm going to do is use it backward. I'm going to go ahead and type in the p-value over here in this box. Some kind of p-value goes here. Okay, I will type in a number. And then when I click on compute, the answer will pop up on this side because we can use this calculator backward. So let's take a look. What is the degrees of freedom for this problem? The degrees of freedom will be 7. Well, for 7 observation, degrees of freedom will be 6. Okay, now what do they want? They want the p-value of 0.05. Okay. Well, you answered this one already. Let me go ahead and do part B then. Part B, the alternative is stating that mu is greater than 0. So I'm going to go ahead and set this mu is greater than or equal to, but I'm not going to type anything in this box. This is where the test statistic will pop up. But let me go ahead and type in 0.05 over here. That is the p-value given. That is the p-value given. So when I click on enter, they're going to give me the test statistic. Let me go ahead and click on compute. The answer will be 1.943. Let's see how they want you to round this. 3 places. Okay, so that's good. Let me go ahead and check answer. Now that's how you would do this one, but let me go ahead and, well, let's do the other one too. See, this time mu is less than 0. So we want the left tail probability. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go ahead and change this to less than or equal to. And then if I go ahead and change this to 0.05, okay, and then click on compute, they're going to find me the test statistic value, which is negative this time. But you take a look, it's the same exact number with the negative in front of it, right? It makes sense because t distribution is perfectly symmetric. So the value that has 5% to the right is going to be the same as the value that has 5% to the left, just different in sign. So the answer for this one will also be negative 1.943. Well, let's talk about the top one. This one's a little bit challenging. And in class, I used a between calculator. What I did was I used a between calculator. But here's the thing, though. We did not enter, because I did show in class, if I enter 0.05 here, what they are going to do is they're going to find the middle interval that has 5%. This isn't what we want. What we want for the two-sided test, mu does not equal to, is we want the left tail and the right tail to be 5%. So remember, if you have 5% outside, how much is in the middle? We have 95% in the middle, right? Because 95% plus 5% is 100%. So if you want 5% outside, you want 95% in the middle. So if you do that, the white regions are actually the answers, but the test statistics that will have 5% outside, the greater than or the less than will be 2.44. How do they want you to round this? Let's take a look. 3 decimal places, but that's why, let me go ahead and bring this out so that you can see that we got the correct answer over here. 2.447 rounded up to 3 decimal places. That's how they got it. But this one was a little tricky, and I did make actually, I was doing the same exact problem in class, but I accidentally entered this in the calculator, and we saw this doesn't look right because, I mean, what kind of confidence interval wants just 5% in the middle? But for the hypothesis test, we do want the what's it called, the right tail and the left tail to add up to 5%. So that means how this calculator works, they find the middle 95%, and we're going to go ahead and say oh, if the middle is 95%, the left and the right together will make up the 5%. And that is how we get the test statistic that will have, the p-value for the alternative that says mu does not equal to 0. This was a good question. All right. But what I recommend is you definitely try a similar problem. Okay. It's going to give it to you. The first one, if it's two-sided, I recommend using the between calculator. For part B and C, you can just use a standard calculator.